Good morning. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. I have got to audio system. There we go. Device. Let's go over to YouTube. Oh, I've got to connect to the internet here. I'm still getting set up here. Wi-Fi. Hyatt Path. Oh no. Hyatt Wi-Fi. Should connect to Hyatt Passport, but there we go. Morning, Nevin. I'm in a hotel. Register, connect. Connect now. Bum, bum, bum. Morning, Joe. Morning, Zephin. Now I've got to connect to YouTube. Tap to retry. There's our live. Okay. Live chat. Hit the thumbs up button. Oh, why can't I hit the damn thumbs up button? My greatest trade this week is TQQQ, though. PayPal's good. What other ones here? Let's see. Go into Savvy Trader. Their portfolio. I don't know how to look at my portfolio. I guess that's the distribution. Let's see all. There we go. Okay, this is the return. Palantir 15%, Sedge 5%, Netflix 1%, AMD 3%, Alta 6%, TQQQ up 5%. That'll be up even more. PayPal 3.25. Joe, you and I both thought Delta was going to drop. I think I said, no way we get Delta in there. But yeah, this Savvy Trader, by the way, if you guys aren't on Savvy Trader, you can follow me here. I'll put in the, let's see, daily stock pick. It's just savvytrader.com at daily stock pick. Boom. It's a great tool. I mean, it is, I've found it to be a tremendous select a portfolio. Stock market news. I like that. There we go. I'm recommending Brad's. I don't know him, but I actually like it. But yeah, you can see here's a let's see, performance. Here's our core portfolio against, year to date against the let's see, 3-month. I guess all. I mean, the core portfolio is not doing as well as the S&P, but it's an even weighted, so it's probably not. Yeah, Cat has come back. Cat has come back well. Here, I'm trying to set up all this stuff. We're gonna go 2-day. We're gonna go 5-minute. TQQQ is up almost $1, by the way. Just in case you were wondering, let's go back over here. I'm going to run through this pretty freaking quick. In fact, I may do a very brief, oh God, NVIDIA, Wells Fargo, Shopify, XLK, TQQ, XLY. Core investment. Uber. I may have just suck it up and buy Uber. FBRCG. Qualcomm finally got a bid. VOO. XLY. Shop. God. Okay, Shop I already have. Let's see. It's the core covered call ETFs. I don't know. I mean, all these. Let's do this with entries. JEPI QYLG, Devo, JEPQ, NUSI. Yeah, and by the way, anybody's going to look like a genius in this stock market. It's just, I mean, it's so crazy how good it is and how wide based the run is. Levered ETFs, there's going to be a ton. With entries, TQQQ, UDOW, TCL, SVIXY. I mean, God, the VIX is just broken. Okay, and then we're going to do spider sectors. Sectors with entries. XLK. Technology got another one. XLY. Let's go Dow. I'm just going to do a quick scan. Nike has a cross up. Wow. That's shocking. NASDAQ 100. I'm going to have a ton in this one. God, that was up, what, 1.8% yesterday? Dollar Tree. What I would urge you guys to do, and I'm not going to do it, I would urge you to go to FinViz and go to the screener and let's just type in all. And I would say 200-day simple moving average. Below the 200-day, I would say, we're not going to use the 50-day, but I would say above the SMA 20. And I would say, I mean, let's say NASDAQ. So you got 964 total. That's still not going to bring it down. Earnings per share growth, high growth. That's still 286. PE. Let's say there's not going to be anything low. So here is 30 companies that are below the 200-day, above the 20-day, highly profitable companies with a low PE. And these may be good for trading. I would urge you guys to use that FinViz. If you have TrendSpider, you can scan like I do. But I would urge you to go to FinViz and use some of those screeners to try and find them. Like this Dollar Tree one here. Let's take a look at a weekly Dollar Tree because that's coming up to fill a gap. But see here on the if we go back to the 4-hour, it's going to only fill a gap to 154. But that was the turnaround around 130 when the MACD was so low and the RSI was down there. So use your indicators on if you have TrendSpider, you can scan for the indicators. But yeah. Now let's look at the S&P 100. Because there's a bunch. Lindy, Medtronic, Emerson. I got Wells Fargo, yeah. Okay. I don't have to start because I basically take the audio from the video recording and put it up there. Okay. Let's see. We're going to 7884. We're going to take that audio and I'm going to start this podcast now. Essentially, let's see. Earnings season started with Delta. Let's go over to strategy tester. Run. And we're going to go SPY. This one, yesterday's afternoon candle had nothing. I mean, yesterday's afternoon candle, just nothing. You created this gap. See this gap right there? You created that gap between 443 and 444. So it's not huge. But you did create a gap that's going to come back. Okay, I'm going to start this podcast. I think I've got my do not disturb on. Let me just make sure. Yes, I do. Okay. Nevin, you subscribe to Savvy Trader. Savvy Trader is awesome. I've got two portfolios over there. The trading portfolio, which is up 2.5%. Brad's killing it, by the way, 3.96% over 30 days. He's killing it. I'm up 2.5%. I just haven't taken advantage of the $50,000 in cash that I have. So, this one, let's see, IWM over 5 days. I mean, that's up 3%. That's an index. Let's see. Let's go SPY and QQQ. Update chart. You know what? I'll add TQQQ because that's the one I invested in 5 days ago. You're welcome, Nevin. Okay, we'll look at that. Okay, I'm going to hit record. And we're going to go back to TrendSpider. Good morning. It's Thursday, July 13th. I'm 2,000 something steps from the White House right now in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, I'm going to make this one a quick podcast. I will have a lot more in the newsletter, so make sure you sign up for the newsletter at dailystockpick.substack.com. Yesterday I had no pod, but there were notes, and I got some feedback from it. Turns out the charts that I provided were good. The links that I provided were good. The scans that I provided were good. I've got a trade going on. I'll talk about it. And part of what you need to do is you need to sign up for Savvy Trader. I don't have a link for this one to basically add you. I don't know if they have a referral program. I have to look into it. It is by far the best trading journal that I have found for free. I've got a trading portfolio and a core portfolio. For those of you that do not have TrendSpider and don't follow my core portfolio on there, you can subscribe here and just see the core portfolio. As I take things in and out, I'll put them in there. It's an equal weighted core portfolio. I'm just buying 100 shares of everything that's in the core portfolio. And I do have a trading portfolio. And you can take a look at the trading portfolio and the 8 positions that I have now, TQQQ, which I'm up, let's see, gainers. Yeah, I'm up, what, 3%, 4%, somewhere in that neighborhood. Let's see. No, let's see, all. Yeah, Palantir, I'm up 15%. Sedge, I'm up 5%. Netflix, I'm up 1%. I'm doing that one to earnings. Ulta, I'm up 6%. That's a rebound play. AMD, I'm dollar cost averaging, but my most recent purchase, I'm up 3%. PayPal, I'm up 3%. That's over 70. TQQQ, I'm up 5%. That's even more. This morning in pre-market, it's up $1. So all of these have reasons. You can see the reasons. I'm going to hold on one second. Let me text her. I'm going to text somebody. Okay, I got to put this together. I thought I was on Do Not Disturb. I am on Do Not Disturb. How come it rings? Some bitch. Okay. Sorry, I had to. Oh, and start recording. Sorry, I had to pause that one. I got a phone call. But yeah, you can see the Savvy Trader is a great sign up for it. It's in the newsletter. I'll put the link in the newsletter. It's savvytrader.com/daily stock pick. And you can see all of the trades that I do. I actually journal down below. You'll get an email if you subscribe. You can choose not to get the emails if you just want to check in every now and then. But you'll get an email, the reasons why I traded, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's a good one to link up with the newsletter. We talked about trade journaling, blah, blah, blah. SPY. Let's talk about SPY. SPY right now, you've got this gap between 443 and 444 that was created yesterday. Nothing too serious to talk about. You've still got confirmation. QQQ, you've still got confirmation. It's still running. You had green candles yesterday. Listen, we're in a bull market. Everybody looks good in a bull market. The reason I bought TQQQ was because of the 13 years, July is positive on TQQQ. 13 years QQQ is positive for the month of July. So I bought it. I bought it under 40. I would say buy it under 40. It will have a chance to buy it under 40. It is currently trading at about $44 per share. I will probably get out with my 10%. It will be exactly what I thought it would be, where you just put some money into it, you make a trade, you hold on to it. I know I said yesterday in the newsletter that I may get out at 42. I did not. I got busy, just like you guys. You guys probably have a regular day job. You just get busy. So that's what I'm doing. TQQQ, I'm holding on to that one. Let's talk about earnings season. Pepsi, which is in the core portfolio. Pepsi blew away earnings. They're up 2.28%. I said get this one under 180. Right now it's at 187. Right back here, you had a chance to buy it at 179. Yeah, it's a great dividend play. Your boy drinks Pepsi. Got to tell you, I drink Pepsi. I drink Coke. I love Pepsi. Delta blew away earnings in pre-market. They are up 4%, around 50. This will be going back to a $60 stock at some point. I just don't think that you buy it here. I think the earnings are great. I think the dividend's great. I think the buyback is great. I think it is going back to 60. I just don't like to see you buy an airline that has run that much. So I would just be prepared for this one to pull back. I would say if you get this one under closer to $40, which I think you'll get a chance to, it's kind of put in that little ledge right there of capitulation around 42 or so. I would say once the earnings kind of season goes by, just understand expectations for this earnings seasons are down. So we may expect some of these laggard companies to actually come back and actually post decent earnings versus estimates. Remember this algorithm, the algorithm for 2 years on Delta, 24 months, returns you 51%. You know what you'd get if you just bought Delta 2 years ago and held on to it? 18%. 51% versus 18. So I would say that's a button hook. Be prepared for the gap to create up here. You could probably buy it down here at 48, probably closer to 45. I think you're good on that one. That's Delta. Exxon announced a purchase this morning, just about 10 minutes ago. They are buying Denbury Resources. Exxon is up 0.01% in the pre-market. It's not going to go. I think energy is the play. I think Exxon's a good play. Denbury is up 0.65. It's at 88.32. I don't know the details of the deal. You can Google that. Your boy isn't Google. I'm Gary. TQQ we talked about. Let's talk about some of these stocks that have really moved. I've talked about Meta. I told you this was a $300 stock. It blew through 300 yesterday. It's at 314, up almost 2% again. My guess is that we are going back to all-time highs on this one. If you go to a weekly, remember we talked about it, that you had 32% gain potentially on this one. Obviously, that has moved up a little bit. We still have confirmation on the weekly. It's crazy. Disney, they announced that Bob Iger is going to return for another 2 years. This one had a buy here at 89.39. I told you under 90 was the buy. Under 90, I think it's a great company to buy under 90. Anywhere in the 80s is a great buy for this one. I probably wouldn't buy it today. It's not up as much as it was in pre-market. At some point in time, you're coming back to fill this gap up to 100. I have no doubt about it. Good companies with good earnings, with good management and good products return to their highs. So that one's probably going to be, it's not going to be tomorrow, but it's going to be good. Let's talk about Amazon. Amazon's back over 130. It's at 132. You might have a chance to buy it again. But there's a great video that I'm going to link to in back
in January
in the newsletter, and it's this one. It's basically a YouTube video that talks about $5 a day for 1 year. What's his return? And he just did it in Robinhood. I would say, look down below if you have Robinhood. Sign up for Webull. You'll get some free stocks. But I do like that one for things like Amazon. If you want to buy Amazon, he buys some crypto through the 1 year. I think Amazon probably would be a better buy. Google is up. This one's at 121. Told you to get it under 120. I think anything under 120 on this one, I think you're fine for long term. I like Google. Tesla is back up in pre-market. They are up, let's see. Tesla, 0.74%. They're at 274. They're building a factory in India. They're talking about it. Here's the other thing that you have to know. Jim Cramer hates the Cybertruck. If there's any reason to be long in Tesla, it's because Jim Cramer hates the Cybertruck. He likes the Ford F-150. Well, I got to tell you, I've sat in a Ford F-150, the electric, the Lightning Edition. It's plastic. It's cheap. All they did was put a battery in the Ford F-150. That's it. The tech is just as crappy as you can imagine a Ford tech would be. Cybertruck has over 500,000 pre-orders. Cybertruck is going into production at some point in time this year. Elon has been driving it around Texas. So I think it's good. Let's talk about energy. I think PXD is still in play. I like this dividend. It's at 215. I told you to get this under 200. You'd be way up on this one. Plus, you get that 11% dividend. Exxon is one that I own. We talked about they're getting a purchase in there of Denbury. In the core portfolio, I have MPLX. MPLX is a master limited partnership. This one's got confirmation on the 4 hour here. 33.74, you're at 34.84. You covered that gap. We talk about gaps all the time. Devon Energy up at 51.29. I own this one. Average purchase price is around 50. I said anything under 60, you can buy it. I think that one's going back again. I think Jim Cramer likes Nucor. We talk about Oxy all the time with Warren Buffett buying in at 61. I'm sorry, between 56 and 65. This one had a buy-in here at 57. If you're in, you're doing well. Plus, you get that decent dividend. It's not a great dividend, but you know they're going to be buying back shares. Speaking of Warren Buffett, if you bought Activision Blizzard, ATVI, this one is going through at $95. It's a chance that it doesn't go through, but there's a chance it does go through at $95. Don't you wish you would have bought down here at 75 when that gap was going to get filled back to 85? The chance was that it wasn't going to go through. We've gotten some good things on this one. Activision Blizzard, I like it. Microsoft, we can talk about Microsoft all you want. It's going to continue to go up. The AI train is still rolling at 339. I think you're hitting back up there to the 345, 350 mark at some point in time. Shopify, they went higher on a Roku deal where Shopify products will be distributed on Roku. We had a cross up here, 65.94. I'll include it in the scan, 65.94. I said wait till it gets under 60. You had an opportunity here on June 1st to buy it under 60. If you didn't buy it under 60, you could probably still buy it at 65. I think it's at least an $80 stock by the end of the year. Ulta's still a buy. I mean, we talked about it in the trading portfolio. Ulta is just filling this gap. It's just filling the earnings gap. Down here at 417, absolutely a buy. I think I got in at like 450. So I just got in there when it started to fill that gap. I didn't trust this as the bottom. It absolutely was the bottom. You're still under the 200-day. You want a good stock to buy with good earnings? Ulta. Sherry talks about ELF. ELF is run a little bit more than Ulta, but I think Ulta comes back and Ulta's fine. BABA. This one's going to 100. BABA is a stock that's going to 100. It's covered its gap. It's going to be back here at 94 right now. It's up 1.56. Remember when I said, hey, get it in the 80s? Yeah, BABA's going back. Meta over 300. SOFI. Let's talk about SOFI. SOFI got downgraded. It's down 3.7% at $8.86. I think you're fine buying this at probably in the 8s. At some point, I would wait for confirmation. It's going to lose its confirmation today. On the 4-hour, you just got in at 892 on the algorithm. So I think you could wait for confirmation on that one and buy in. Lululemon. Lulu's going back to 400. I got news for you. It's at 383. It's going back to 400. You can see down here where it crashed down to 330 on the earnings. And the earnings brought it way back up. So you almost covered this gap down to 320. Didn't quite cover the whole gap, but got you in at 368, got you out with a slight loss. You're still in. It's going to 400. Trading desk. This is one that's a little bit expensive in my mind. I do think it's probably going back to about 90. You're trading at 84 right now. It's up 4% in pre-market. I mean, the NASDAQ is just flying. PayPal, recent trade of mine. I said, hey, this is an $85 stock by the end of the year. At the very least, it's a $75 stock. You're at $71.32 in pre-market. There's a bunch of gaps on this one. I mean, you can take this all the way back to this. This is why I said it's an $85 stock. I think it's going to cover that gap. So the first place is it's going to cover this gap to 75. I think second place is going to cover that gap to 85. So I think that's still a one. CrowdStrike, I think you're going back to 150. It's expensive. It's a super highly. I don't think they're making money. I have this one. At about, I want to say, I think I'm about 170 is my average purchase price. I purchased this one way back. I probably should have sold it. The average target price is 178. You're probably getting there at some point in time this year. There's just nothing that tells me that this one is going to slow down anytime soon. Again, IT people are just paying for that one. Uber is one I should have bought, 41, 42 a couple of days ago. That's 1%. They are going to turn a profit at some point in time this year. You're back to your IPO price. If we go back to a weekly, Again, a good company with good products, with good earnings, that's where they're missing. If they get to in earnings, you're looking at a $56 stock. So I think this one at the very least gets up here to 48. You're at 45 in pre-market. You could probably add a small position. I'm going to add two videos. The first one was that invest $5 a day. The second one is from TrendSpider. And this is a tremendous video that Jason does of the most common trading mistakes. You don't have to be a TrendSpider subscriber to watch that video and understand the actual mistakes. So let's look at social requests. Trenton, good morning. Good CPI data today. Could you take a look at GM in tomorrow's pod? Price upgrade to 89 today and earnings on the 26th. GM's one of these companies. I mean, I'm just not a huge GM fan, but you can't argue with down here at 32, the trade all the way up to 40. Now, you're still in this. This is a button hook right here where the algorithm didn't get you out because the 9-day is actually working with the 21, and I do have algorithm. The algorithm does have it, but here's the thing: the RSI is at 71. That MACD is up in the 1 range above the oscillator. So I don't like this one going into earnings because it's run so much. And that's the problem, is this company from a long-term perspective. Again, from a long-term perspective, they just hugged the 200-day. You're under the 200-day right now on the long-term perspective. But it's right there at 41. So where's your upside? Is your upside here at 60? Probably not. Even if they blow it out of the water, I think you're coming up here to look at those tops right there. I mean, we talk about double tops and we talk about trend patterns and stuff. Look at this. You got a top right there. You got a top right there. Double top right at 41. You're at $40.41. They got to blow it out of the water for more than 1 quarter. So I don't think you go into that one. It's just run too much. Again, if we run this one against the algorithm's not great performance on this one because you lose 30% over 2 years. If you invested in this 2 years ago, you're down 30%. The algorithm, you're down 29%. So it saves you 1%, but you've gotten in and out of it how many times? 37 times. So I just, Trenton, honestly, I just go with Tesla. Go with Tesla. Even Ford is probably a better bet, even though it's run so much. I mean, all of these have just run so much. Look at that, $12.23 up to $15.22 in a plastic car company that's actually losing money. The RSI is at 63. I just don't like it. I'd rather see in Tesla. And yes, Tesla has run a ton from this 163 up to 272. It's run a ton going into earnings next week. But I never bet against Tesla. The problem you're going to have is the margins on Tesla. Sam from Facebook, would you mind taking a look at AZN whenever you get a chance? I'm curious to see if you think it might get back to 80s. Sam, AZN, I don't even know what AZN is. AstraZeneca. Healthcare has been killed. Healthcare has been absolutely destroyed. Ironically, you have a buy today at 66.46. I don't know much about AstraZeneca's drug issues. The average target price is 80. Upgrade, UBS, neutral buy, but the price target is only 80 because nobody really has covered it of recent with a price target. So I don't know that if I'd never necessarily trust that. Year to date, you're down 1.96. As far as healthcare goes, the one that I do own, I own a couple. I own UNH and I do own Pfizer. I say trade Moderna because Moderna is a hype trade. But UNH, I say anything under 500, I think you can buy it. It's at 451. Right now, you're out. The algorithm doesn't have you in. The earnings are coming up July 13th, which is today. Is it after the bell? Pre-market. So they're announcing. I'm sorry, they're announcing tomorrow, pre-bell. I don't know enough about AstraZeneca. I would take a look. What I would do is take a look at some of these articles here. What you should know, Zacks, drug study. Take a look at what their drug portfolio is. Healthcare is one. I think there's two things that are coming back late this year. And I think it's healthcare, which has lagged, and I think it's energy. My bet is more on energy. So I just don't think it's getting back to 80s. I mean, look at Pfizer. Even a company like Pfizer, who has a ton of drugs, look at this long term. Um, that's just been a falling knife. You're under the 200 day. If you want to buy this, it'll get over the 200 day. It's a good company with good products, good management, good solid, profits. It's drugs. Let's see. Corey from Instagram. Can you look at analysis CSIQ? Let's see. CSIQ. It is Canadian Solar. Currently seems to be reversing to bullish, PE of 8.5, 15% below 52-week high. Also treated as a high of 70 in January 2021. Let's see, Canadian Solar. It does look like 38.34 was the buy here. You're kind of just capitulating right there. You're still above the 200 day on the long term from a weekly. The RSI is at 50. This MACD just hasn't moved. Canadian Solar, January 2021, you're at 60. Let's see, CSIQ. I do own Sedge as far as solar goes. I think the two that you really want to play in the solar game are Sedge and Enphase. This one, year to date, you're up 24%. So it is up year to date. Again, you're 19% below. I mean, you're topped out at 43. Here's where I'd rather see you. I'd rather see you in Sedge, which I've talked about. It's going back to 300. You're at 271. It's going back to 300. Sedge is going back to 300. The other one is Enphase. And yes, they're expensive. But look at Enphase under that 200 day. Now, if we go with the long term of Enphase, look, it's using the 200 day as support. So at 182, at least you have some support down there. That 50 day is starting to turn. The 9 day is just starting to turn. I think this one gets back to at least 200. So I'd rather see you in Enphase. I don't know enough about Canadian Solar. Their market cap is 2.51 billion. They're making $314 million. They don't have a dividend. There's no short play. They have plenty of money. Cash on hand, $13 per share, 64 million shares floated. So I don't see a problem with it. I just don't know what the turnaround on that one, because I don't know Canada's solar program. I do know that the infrastructure project here in this country does provide a significant incentive for solar. The other one that Corey wants me to look at is MOS, was trading at 79 in April and currently at 36. If you look at weekly, it appears to have bottomed out and reversing. This is a fertilizer mosaic company. And this, when the Ukraine stuff happened, we'll take a look at the long term. Take a look at the long term. It's just at the 200 day. Now, if you go back before COVID, it kind of hung out at that 200 day and just went below that 200 day. So this was the Ukraine, the COVID increase, and then the Ukraine war came about in 2021, which really catapulted this up. I think you're just getting back to regular kind of multiples on this one. I think it's similar to a lot of materials and agriculture companies. I'm not hugely bullish on this one. And the only reason I say that is because I just think it's getting back to its regular thing. I don't, from the long-term perspective, I just think it's getting back. But Corey, if you wanted to use the algorithm actually underperforms this one. 2 years ago, if you bought it, you made 15%. The algorithm loses you 38%. So it's going in the opposite direction. So I wouldn't trust it. Personally, that's just my thing. A couple of scans that we have. NVIDIA is one scan. It's got another cross up. Look, it got you out, got you back in at 439. You're trading at 444. Just buy it. Just buy it. I mean, honest to God, just buy it. I don't think you wait for that one to get back under 200, under 400. Your boy owns Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo here at 42.38. It's trading at 43.36. Their earnings are coming up. I think it's tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow pre-market. This is one that's going back to 50. I bought it down here at 30, bought it at 40. I'm up on this one. It's a great one. We talked about Shopify has a cross up, XLK. This is the, what am I doing? This is the spider sector for technology. It's another cross up. I mean, if you were in here at 150 or at 170 on a spider sector, that's amazing. We talked about TQQQ. I own this one. I am not selling it right now. In pre-market, it's up at 42.79. I think it's going to go to 44. That's my belief. Now, if we go over here to TQQQ, this is what you have to know. Your 52-week range, you're at all-time, you're at 52-week highs. 42.44 was the 52-week high. So you're opening up above 52-week highs. I will probably be trading it actively today. And I'll be buying in at lower prices and probably selling it at a little bit higher. I can scalp this one and probably make 5-10%. Uber, we talked about Uber turning positive, and I think that with their earnings are in August. So you don't have any kind of new catalyst, but it has a cross up at $45. Buy it under 45. I just think I'm probably going to buy it under 45. We have a bunch. Another one that I wanted to bring up that actually just got a cross up is Nike. Now we talked about Nike. As far as the earnings are already passed. It's got that 107 buy. You were down here at 105, 104. I don't know that it's done going down. It's just got a cross up, but the RSI is at 47. I would probably wait for this one, but it was the only Dow component that had a cross up. We talked about in the energy space, if you wanted to take Viper Energy, Venom, VNOM, 2601 is the cross up. This one, if you bought it 2 years ago, you'd be making 45%. If you want the safety of the algorithm, 30% is what you make. Here's what I think. I think that gap at 28 gets filled at some point in time this year. Again, it's an energy play, so I think you can play it. Levered ETFs, covered call ETFs, spider sectors, all will be in the newsletter. Remember, there's two places that I want you to go. There's Savvy Trader, savvytrader.com/daily stock pick. I'll include it in the newsletter. For the newsletter, I want you to go to dailystockpick.substack.com. If you like these charts, then it's TrendSpider. There's a link down below. You can go to linktr.ee/daily stock pick, and all of the links are in there. TrendSpider, visible. You can sign up. If you have a Robinhood or if you have anything else, go over here to Webull. Get some free stocks. Open up an account. Put like $100 in there. Put $200 in there. Watch this. Investing $5 a day for 1 year. He uses a Robinhood. I don't like Robinhood. I think you absolutely use Webull. I think you get 12 stocks. Webull has significantly better options than Robinhood. But again, linktree.com. Anything else that I will start, I will do on I will hit up you tomorrow, and I'm live on YouTube, so I'm going to answer those questions right now. Okay, take care. Bye. Okay, now I've got to open iMovie, which is going to be fun because I've got to put these two things together. We're going to take that out, and we're going to I gotta close this out, and I gotta move that down. Oh man. Gonna put that one in there. Let me see. Okay, and we're gonna put that in there. Oh, I'm gonna move this down. Oh, there we go. Let me. Boom. that's the wrong one. I gotta move that over here. There we go. Okay, and we're gonna auto. Boom. I've got to export this. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get to your question, Sam. Next. 713 pod. Save. Okay, let me go over here. What do I think of Boyle? I think Boyle, I think you're fine buying Boyle, to be honest with you. Boyle, you got out with a 14% gain. Looks like it's down slightly in pre-market to $61. It doesn't have confirmation. Let me bring you over to Active Trader Pro. I've got to, hold on, I've got to, where is Active Trader Pro? There it is. Let me bring you over here. So I think, in my mind, I think you trade Boyle on a 5-minute chart. I don't think you do this one. This one has been volatile of late. And Boyle, in my mind, see how it doesn't have confirmation. It's below its 9-day. Volume weighted average price, 6103. You're trading at 6110. I typically wait until it has confirmation. See this one at $61, and then it goes up here, and it's got another one, and then it goes up. Once it hits that 9-day and goes below that 9-day on a 5-minute chart, I typically get out of that one. I mean, let's take a look at if you were trading TQQQ on a 5-minute chart as well. Take a look at this one. This is where you opened up. See how it's kind of flat? But see those little bars up there above that, the pink line's the VWAP. It's above the VWAP. It's above the 9-day. Wait for confirmation. It really hasn't lost a ton. So I listen, this is the reason why I'm in this one. I think, TQQQ is good. But Sam, I would, I don't think $61 is a bad one on Boyle. I think you're going to be fine. Because look at, I move you back, let me move you back to Safari. And if we look at Boyle, here's what you have to know about Boyle. It's a decaying asset, so you don't want to hold it on too long. But look at that. We haven't been this low ever. And just look at that huge decline. That enormous decline on the weekly tells me that you probably will get up to the 100 at some point in time. I don't want to say, look at the volume increase. I mean, as the volume increased, the price decreased. That's divergence. And let's see. Volume increase, price decrease. Volume increasing. Here you go. Let's see. Oh, that's just a intraday scanner. Let's do volume increase, price decrease, divergence. An increase in price and volume confirms the price trend upward. A decrease in price and volume confirms the trend downward. An increase of price accompanied by a decrease or flat volume is a negative divergence. So in corollary, here we can, we can, should I go here? Let's see, four money flows, ease of movement. Oh, I hate these things, man. This is why I have ad blocker. Here's what it is. Defining price momentum, Momentum indicators, price. There's the MACD, momentum divergence. I think it's going to be in this article. But that's what I see on this. When you look at that decrease and that increase in volume, and you look at that MACD, I think that price has to come up with this increase in volume. So, Sam, that's what I would take. Do you take in short interest in a stock? D-man, short squeezes. You know what's been just a short squeeze is Carvana. I mean, and do I take, yes, I've played short squeezes before. I mean, this one went from $7.34 to $38. You're trading at 36 right now. You still have confirmation over the 9-day. Do I take into consideration if it's a company with a bad balance sheet, if a company is going bankrupt, if a company is doing poorly, yeah, you take the short interest into consideration. But overall, like a company like Apple, I mean, let's look. A company like Apple, the short interest is 0.75%. If that goes to 1%, does it factor into my thing? No. No. I mean, you're at 52-week highs at 194. You're 2% below your 52-week high. Of course, they're going to short it. AAPD is going to be the play at some point in time. But hasn't been the play so far. What's it got you in? 2038 and you're at 2055. So you went all the way up to about 2083. What, a 5% move, 4% move, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, but D-Man, remember, I'm not a day trader. I'm more of what you would call a swing trader. I mean, look at my portfolio, man, on Savvy Trader. I bought, let's see, I bought Hibbs on June 22nd. I sold it on June 23rd. I bought PayPal on June 22nd. I'm still holding. I bought Ulta on June 22nd. I'm still holding. I bought AMD on June 23rd. Still holding. TSOQ, bought it on June 26th. Sold it on June 27th. Palantir, bought it on June 27th. Still holding. Sedge, bought it on June 28th. Still holding. TQQQ, bought it on July 10th. Still holding. TQQQ, I bought more on July 10th. Netflix, bought it on July 10th. Still holding. So, yeah, Sam, I think that's the best. Sam, that's the best strategy for Boyle. I think you'll be okay. It's the only thing that you have to worry about with Boyle, Sam, is understand it's a decaying asset. It's a triple levered against the futures. So it's a decaying asset. That's why you see this reverse split 1 for 20. In order to keep listing it, they just reverse split it. Now, it hasn't had a reverse split in quite a long time. But you can see, even if we let's bring this back to where it started falling. There is nobody holding up high on this. So there's, $1,000, it's not going to $1,000. It may go to 100. But that volume is going to need to continue to go up to drive that price up. So, yeah, Siri, I don't think Siri's running because of that. I think Siri's running because of subscriptions. But it could be short. I mean, here, take a look at the long. Look at that. That's why Siri's running. It's not because of short interest. It's because you've fallen down so far so fast. That's what it is. I mean, your 200 days still at $5.89. I mean, this wasn't even hit during COVID. It was a 7. Yeah, it was hit. Sorry, didn't need to pull it back. So, yeah, I just think this one's just coming back. Are you getting back to pre-COVID levels of $7.14? No, it's just not that good of a company. So, You don't need to listen more, Devin. Need to do more research on the chart stuff. What I do is not anything. Okay, here I've got to, hold on one second. I've got to extract the audio from this. There we go. Okay. Export as audio only. 711 pod audio. Save. Boom, boom. Now, hold on one second. There we go. What happened to this? Oh. What happened? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, that's audio only. Oh. No, I don't want that. Move to trash. This is today's. I gotta plug this in too. I'm trying to get before I have to plug in. There we go. Quit QuickTime. We're going to export as audio only. Audio. Save. Boom. Okay, quit QuickTime. And then I want to put this into, okay, I'm going to take all this out. Wow, I guess. Ooh. Oh, it's not. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's not good. Okay, we'll just do that. Fuck GarageBand. Don't save. I think I can. Let's see. Okay. Let me move this over to No, Nevin. Watch this video, Nevin. Hold on, I'm going to send you the video here. I know I said it would be available in the newsletter. This is your video. Nevin, open up a Webull account. First off, click on my link below, open up a Webull account, and that's what you do. You focus on building your portfolio. Focusing on one stock is good for trading. Focusing on one stock is good for trading. How do I put this? Significantly more money is made investing than trading. You will never become rich. Well, I shouldn't say never. There are people that do. It is 98% of the traders don't make money. The 2%, fantastic. But you're just not going to make it. Okay, and then I'm going to look at Libby. Watch that video, Evan. That's what I'd like to see you do. Continue trading. I would trade about, say you have $100 in your portfolio. It's $100. I would rather see you add $5 a week and invest it in something like VOO, something that is tracking the S&P 500. Of that $100, you start maybe trading 50 bucks, but add $5 into the VOO portfolio if you want to exchange that at some point in time for some Apple, for some Amazon, for some Nvidia, things of that sort. That's where you get into long-term understanding that you're going to hold those because you've got tax positions as well. You trade short-term, man, you're paying, 30% in taxes, depending on what your income is. But understand your tax situation too. And I don't know what JFIN is. So I'm going to look for Libby real quick. And then I'm going to get out of here because I've got things to do today. Jalen Group. Giant Group. $5.48 was the buy. You're trading at $5.38. The MACD is down. It just crossed up. Looks fairly good. The RSI is in no man's land at 50. Let me look at JFIN here. This is such a small cap company. 273 million market cap. 52-week low, you're 186% up. You're 34% below your 52-week high. Your average price target, it's not even covered. December 1st, 2020, they say it was a $5.75 stock. Nobody's buying or selling. Provides online consumer finance services in the People's Republic of China. You know what? You're going to do something in China? I'd say, what's that new one? I forget. There's if I were Libby, just invest in Baba. If you're going to China, invest in those big businesses. I think JFIN is, listen, I know nothing about JFIN. If you know something about JFIN that I don't, great. I think you're just gambling on it, though. It's a super small cap company. What China does is they will probably come out and say, you know what? We don't like you providing banking services. All of a sudden, you got zero. And it's a China stock. China stocks are some of these, they may start pulling smaller ones because they don't have a good relationship with the U.S. So I'd probably invest in those bigger ones than, in China. Protect yourself a little bit. Hey, Sherry. Yeah, I'm getting out of here because I'm on 20% battery life right now, and I still have to upload all this. So I will be back tomorrow. Another quick one.